What's up, shit? Timmy's here. With Chad Montgomery returning on the big screen this week in Freaking Friday, I decided to go ahead and do my top 10 favorite Chad Montgomery film and TV projects. Because I've always liked Chad Montgomery. Like, obviously, he was always a hot draw back in the 2000s and stuff like that. I always wish he was in, like, the Arrowverse for some reason. All due respect to Stephen Amell, I think Chad Montgomery would have been probably even better Oliver Queen, but that's just me. Um, that aside, here are my official top 10 favorite Chad Michael Murray film and TV project. Alright, number 10 is A Medea's Christmas. Now, this one came out all the way back in 2013, starring Tyler Perry as Medea, who visits a small town to help her friend Elaine Dor celebrate Christmas. And here, of course, here he plays the character of Tanner, who's a shady, prejudiced farmhead, working for Lacey's like in-laws, and his like he's a little bit like he's causes trouble and all. He is like very not a good person here, but he actually did steal some really interesting scenes. Chad Mike Murray is pretty decent, of course. Tika Sumter's really good here too. You also had Larry the Cable Guy. It is a really decent Medea film worth giving a go. Alright, coming in at number 9 is the show Star. Now, here you had Chad Michael Murray, who had mostly a guest spot as Asher, who's a slick music producer who works with the Star Group, bringing like charm and complications to their journey here. And Star, I really quite enjoyed. Of course, it was like set in the same universe as the show Empire. And sadly, Star only lasted from 2016 to 2019. Didn't last too long, but it's about like three women, Star, Simone, and Alexandra, who forms a girl group in Atlanta. And it's a really interesting show. It's not as good as Empire or nothing like that, but I still quite had a fun time with Star. Really quite enjoyed the characters. Chad Michael Murray's scenes were pretty decent. Like his like cameo as like Star Power. And you could really buy him as a music producer perfectly, and really good performance there. Queen Latifah was also in this too, by the way. Alright, number 8 is Riverdale. Now, of course, he actually appeared on Riverdale in season 3 here, which dives into like the earring farm. Here, of course, you have Chad Montgomery, who plays Edgar, who's a charismatic, sinister leader of the farm, using like charm to brainwash followers. And his character was pretty, creepy at times. Of course, obviously seeing him return to the CW world was pretty cool. Obviously, Riverdale did lost me, last few seasons, but first few seasons were really decent and had some really great guest appearances too. From like the late Shannon Doherty made a guest appearance. Gina Gershon made a guest appearance, and of course, Chad Michael Murray was one of them too. And it's a really cool performance here. Alright, number 7 is Gilmore Girls. Now, of course, Gilmore Girls, premiered all the way back in like 2000, and he mostly was a recurring character in the season 1 and 2. He played like this Tristan, who's a cocky, privileged Chilton student who teases and flirts with the Rory character, played by Alexa Bedell, who's creating tensions with her boyfriend Dean. And Chad Murray, of course, this was like before he got his One Tree Hill gig, and this was like one of his earliest roles. He was pretty good here. He's like very cocky, a little bit of a douchebag throughout, but I always thought he was like a really cool like. It's like supporting role, and the show's co-stars likely makes it like nostalgia favorite here. And he's like very smug, yet gives a really cool performance and a really decent role there. Alright. Coming in at number 6 is A Cinderella Story. Now, of course, this starred like Chad Michael Murray, as Austin, who's a popular and sensitive jock who is pressured by his father to prioritize football over his dreams here. And of course, it's is like an updated version of Cinderella, starring Hilary Duff as Sam, who's a shy teen who is mistreated by her stepmother and stepsisters. And here, obviously, she makes a connection to you know Chad Michael Murray's Austin Ames character, who's a popular quarterback, and they navigate social pressures here. The most iconic scene, of course, when they're in the bar, the Halloween dance, and of course, Hilary Duff's Cinderella has like the mask on her face and stuff. She's really decent here. Of course, you had like Jennifer Coolidge and Regina King and stuff. And Chad Mike Murray was like he was like the boy next door at the time, and his like chemistry with Hilary Duff was really solid, and it's a really decent performance there. All right, coming in at coming in at number 5 is Dawson's Creek. Now he actually was a recurring character on in Always in its 5th season. He plays the character Charlie, who's like a charming college student and aspiring musician who briefly dates the Jen Lindy character and pursues Joey Potter, played by Kate Holmes here. And his like charismatic, that really fits the show's soapy vibe here. Of course, obviously, I feel like shows like this and Gilmore Girls is what really got him as the gig in One Tree Hill. And it's a really decent performance throughout. He really plays like the jock college student wonderfully here, and really good performance there. All right. Number 4 is Fruitvale Station. Now, Fruitvale Station's, like Ryan Coogler has done really good stuff since like Creed, Black Panther, most recent Sinners. I still say his best film, Ryan Coogler's best film, is still Fruitvale Station. This is a movie that I've probably only seen twice, and it's not really an easy watch. It's of course recounts the final days of Oscar Grant, played by Michael B. Jordan, who's a 22-year-old black man fatally shot by police at Fruitvale Station in Oakland on New Year's Eve in 2008. And here you have Chad Michael Murray, who plays Ingram, and one of the bar police officer who, of course, is involved in the fatal incident. And he is like, his character here is, it does have limited screen presence, but he is, of course, the one who do take out Mike B. Jordan's character, and he really plays his part very well. Chad Murray really nails it here. Mike B. Jordan was great. Melanie Diaz was in this too. It is a really decent. It is a really hard film to watch, but it is one like the movie that really put Mike B. Jordan on the map for most people. The film that put like Ryan Coogler on the map. Really wonderful film, worth giving a go. All right, coming in at number 4 is the House of Wax remake. All right, yeah, the House of Wax remake came out all the way back in 2005 about a group of friends, including siblings Carly and Nick, who got stranded in a desert town en route to a football game, and they discover a creepy wax museum where like the figures are disturbingly lifelike because they're made of real people. You of course have Chad Michael Murray, who plays like Alicia Cuthbert's brother here. Jared Padalecki is also in this as well, and spoiler, he actually gets taken out in the beginning. But I really quite enjoyed the House of Wax remake. You had Paris Hilton was in this. Of course, directed by John Collet-Serra, who would go on to direct Black Adam and the film I was an extra for, Runner Night. But House of Wax is a really decent remake, a really solid one. I always get a kick out of this every time I see it. And the brother-sister chemistry between Chad Michael Murray and Alicia Cuthbert is great. Like, Chad Michael Murray became a little bit of a douche a few times, but they won me over throughout as well. It's a really decent film, worth giving a go. And, of course, it's a remake of the Vincent Price film, and to be honest, I do prefer the remake over the Vincent Price one, but that's just me. Alright, coming in at number 3. Alright, coming in at number 2, my bad. Coming in at number 2 is, of course, Freaky Friday. Now, of course, this does star Chad Michael Murray, who plays Jake, who's a charming motorcycle running high school senior with a bad boy vibe. And I kid you not, he does have a crush on Anna, unaware that she's also in Tessa's body for most part of the film. And I really quite like Chad Michael Murray, like really hitting on Jamie Lee Curtis was always fun to watch. But Chad Michael Murray still played the part very well. His chemistry with Lindsay Lohan, I think they were dating at the time, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong there, but fun that he actually got to work with Lindsay Lohan and Hilary Duff around the same era, so pretty cool there. But yeah, Freaky Friday, he really does such a great job here. Really plays the bad boy antics perfectly. Really can't wait to see him in Freaky Friday. And his best project, obviously, is none other than One Tree Hill. You know, of course, here you got Chad Michael Murray, who plays Lucas Scott, who's a brooding basketball player who navigates love, family, rivalry in a small town of Tree Hill. Of course, you have like Misha Barton, Sophia Bush. I mean, The One Tree Hill is one of the most iconic shows of the early 2000s. It ended in 2012, crazily there. I mean, One Tree Hill is definitely one of the best teen drama shows of the early 2000s. Really showcased how good Chad Michael Murray was. Really was the one that really put him on the map. I know at the time he also did stuff like, you know, the aforementioned Gilmore Girls, Dawson's Creek. I feel like this is actually one of the thing that really put him on the map for most people. And a really decent series. You know, of course, they are talking about doing a One Tree Hill revival. Whether we get Chad Michael Murray in that has to be seen. But it is a really decent series worth giving a go. But that's pretty much it there. Here is, of course, my quick rundown. Number 10, A Medea's Christmas. 9, Star. 8, Riverdale. 7, Gilmore Girls. 6, A Cinderella Story. 5, Dawson's Creek. 4, Fruitvale Station. 3, House of Wax. 2, Freaky Friday. And number 1 is One Tree Hill. Now, there's other ones I probably could have added too. Let me see. Chat. Now, he did do that Christmas movie last year. Forgot the name of it. Chad Michael Murray movies, TV shows. Let me see what else he's been part in. Yeah, he also had that show Sullivan's Creek, which I've never seen an episode of. The Merry Gentleman he was in, that was pretty terrible. I forgot he was in Agent Carter. Definitely had it. I guess that's the closest thing he gets to doing a comic book project. He was in that terrible Mother's Bride last year from the director of Freaky Friday. He's done some other stuff here and there. Let's see what else he's been a part of. Diagnosed Murder with Dick Van Dyke. Definitely not that Ted Bundy one he was in. That was terrible. The Bruce Willis movie Fortress he was in. Not so great. Left Behind. He's been in a lot of Hallmark movies. Survive the Night, also with Bruce Willis. He was in the Gilmore Girls revival, Caveman, and many others here. Anyway, he also appeared on Screen Queens. I forgot he was on that. Anyway, let me let you guys. What is some of your favorite Chad Michael Murray film or TV projects? Drop comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell for notification. This is Timmy signing out.